We've all been through the rebellious teenage years of our lives. The times where you'd much rather be out with friends. The times where home life matters little to you. The times where you refuse to notice the sacrifices made by mom and dad. Your thoughts, your actions, all things you regret and wish you could take back in your adolescent years. If this has any meaning to you, you're not alone. Follow both a fox determined to save her young from a hungry wolf and the touching story about a son's attempt to cope with the loss of his father in the relaxing adventure, The First Tree. You begin your journey in the eyes of a fox. Your children have gone missing, and it's your job to find and save the poor innocent creatures from the threats that lie in the wilderness. Within the first few minutes of this visually astonishing story, you see a flock of birds fly off a corpse on the ground. That ate-out, rotted body is sadly one of your young. You sit in sorrow, but have no time to grieve since your mission still stands. One more child is in jeopardy, and he will not suffer the same fate as the last. Without haste, you begin your journey in locating and saving your only other beloved child. As you wander the beautiful verdant forest and past the scurrying bunnies and birds, you'll find beacons of light in the distance. Make your way to those beacons and you'll find the true story behind the first tree. You can interact with the foot of these beacons to dig up an artifact that has a specific meaning to a certain someone named Joseph. Joseph is the unfortunate individual who has recently lost his father. Whether the fox digs up a wooden train or a toy car, each of the items has meaning and a story. Joseph is narrating these experiences to his wife, Rachel. At the start, these stories seem mundane. One's about show and tell and gifts from dad. I found that The First Tree is tiring, spending 3 minutes running from beacon to the next just to hear a common school tale. I simply found the game boring in the first 10 minutes. But then, the story starts to get interesting. Each story begins to tie with the next and leaves you in suspense until you find your path to the next beacon. I soon found myself hooked and engaged with Joseph's sorrow. While some walls were unusually large and may have stood out of reach, most others were scalable through power-ups. Actually, I should rephrase. The one and only power-up in the game. Butterflies. Yep, you heard me. Colorful butterflies. Along the course of your journey, you are bound to cross paths with a circle of purple butterflies. Walk through the circle, and the butterflies will follow you as you walk. Once you take the leap of faith, you will rise in the air higher and higher than you could with the standard double jump. Using these butterflies will be essential at some points to progress further in the story. While the controls felt unnatural and buggy at times, it shouldn't undermine the heartfelt story and the beautiful graphics of The First Tree. The land is vast, and the mountains are wide. The world is yours to travel and uncover the meaning of life and death. You come to find that Joseph and the fox are not so different after all, and the more you play, the more you will understand the purpose of The First Tree. EnomView scores this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Check out our in-depth review in the description below.